Dude, no way! No way, that was such an insane fluke! Oh my god! I actually just did it! No way, that was... No, that was so unexpected. Look at that fluke. Why does this always happen to me with new artists? Oh my god. Like, finally. Oh my god, leaderboard. I'm not on the leaderboard. Attempt count. 37,000. I'm pressing clip now. Oh, I need to check to see if it's real. Well, I know it's real. I need to check to see if it recorded. That's what I'm doing. Holy shit, no way. Oh. So there's just no deaths at the end. No, I got past the wave. I knew how to do the end. I just did it. Recording. Now. Right now. Clicks. Yes. I am now uploading the file. Dude, there's no way. I just did that. It's over just like that. Okay, let me try to recall my nerves that I felt. I pretty much didn't have nerves until... No, I passed my new best. I was fine until I got to the skull and, like, continued surviving and didn't die to anything stupid and easy. And I just kept going, and it just kept feeling not real. And then I got to the last ship. My mouth was agape. I actually thought I was dead at the last ship because I held, I think, like, not as long as I was supposed to, and I'm gonna have to check back the recording. There was probably a few spots I almost died at. I got all my bad luck and inconsistency out of the way early. And once again, the tradition of fluking a new artist. I can't believe it. Now, there was no thought of me beating it today. I thought it was just gonna be another session that I just played until I lost my consistency and then just got off for the night. But I actually just did it. Let me go through my mods real quick. Oh, claim that goddamn quest. What's my hardest level? I'll scroll. My hardest level is Lotus Flower. And it is 100. The level I have just beaten, Waterfall by Cherryteam, is 55. I have once again fluked a new hardest, and I guess I would call that a jump. 45 spot jump? I'll take it. Wait! That's why I completely forgot. That's why 1,000 demon. The whole reason I was doing this as well. I have 1,000 demons. I have 1,000 demons too. I can beat whatever the hell I want now, because I'm not tied behind this level anymore. Let's get this post up. This level was my 1,000th demon. It was a fluke from 62. It's my new hardest after 3.5 years. What a completion, man. And how unexpected. Oh, I know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do a showcase with frame perfects. Well, not frame perfects because I don't think this level has any. But I'm gonna count. Alright, quick update. It's the night of the Waterfall completion, and I have just found out that one of my clips has been corrupted. Luckily, it wasn't a completion. It was just me describing the first 15% of gameplay, so it's really easy for me to re-record, so I'm just gonna do that real quick. Well, it didn't affect me too much. This ship is by far the hardest part of the level. I've had some time to think about it over the past few hours, and like the majority of my runs die in this ship. Like 70 to 80% of my runs don't make it past here. But when I'm consistent, I don't really die to anywhere other than like this dash orb right there. And it's the best way to do it is to... Uh-oh, do I make that? No, okay. Best way to do it is to click like perfectly between those two spikes in a perfect world, so you don't have to worry about dying after you release. And the next hardest area is this little bit right here. Like here to the end of this part. After a while, I found a pretty good visual cue to make this click a little smoother. I pretty much just clicked when my ship was right in the middle here of these two objects. Clicking right after this arrow works great for me, but in speed hack obviously I can react right away, so in reality you're clicking like right on the arrow, right on the tip of it, but when the game's moving fast, it's pretty much when you're right after the arrow, click and hold and you're good. If you don't click and hold, if you hold too long you will pass away. Yeah, now is where the level starts to go downhill a decent bit. Immediately we're greeted with this monstrosity right here. There's already several things wrong if you pay attention. Turn on hitboxes. There's no teleport portal to adjust you, so you're entering this differently pretty much every time. On top of that, you have to pretty much hold up right up until the portal. In this time, you have to release your input and click again. Oh wow, that's so difficult, right? But then you have to release your input and a micro click. And you have to land on the wonky looking hitbox that you pretty much cannot tell exists from the structuring. You pretty much just have to guess and rely on muscle memory to get through this part. It got pretty consistent over like an incredibly long time I've played the pre-drop, but actually getting consistent and just having to die here over and over and just feeling like there's nothing I can do, like that's where the problems with the level like hit me. Like overall the level's really fun, the gameplay is pretty well play tested, but there's just some parts like this that just bring the level down as a whole. Like let's do it in full speed. Like, it feels so awkward to play, even though it does get consistent. It just never really feels good to play, if that makes sense. Like doing this hold into a release, into a click, into a micro click, I just don't think it's good gameplay, but feel free to disagree. And everything is fine for a while. You can do this ship part two different ways. I chose to just hold after the green orb so I can stay normal gravity, and for me it's easier to tell like what little blob in that glitchy mess is my ship. But you can also click the blue orb and just be upside down. I think holding into it's easier, but it really doesn't matter too much. The next problem with this part comes with this red orb. The way I learned this level was I didn't look at any videos whatsoever. I just learned it on my own, and the way I learned it was I clicked the red orb whenever I felt like it, and I held. And if I timed it right, I could hold into the ship perfectly, let go, and hit the blue orb and be fine. But obviously, I'm on 0.1 speed. I gotta do that 10 times faster. What would be happening in reality is that I'd be clicking this red orb, and then just practically guessing when I enter the ship portal. If I click the orb slightly too late, I'm way too high up, and I hit that spike. If I'm slightly too low, I fly into the bottom spike. And it was just really inconsistent. I kept doing this until I saw Doggy play Waterfall, and I saw that he clicked in the ship, so I just experimented with clicking this orb at different times and clicking in the ship portal. What worked best for me is clicking this orb as late as possible without dying, and then not holding into the ship portal, but right after you turn into it, then hold. It makes the trajectory a lot more consistent. I think I'm dead though. Yeah, I'm barely dead. But like, you see, these are some pretty crazy hitboxes. Like the best you can do is kind of go down at an angle like that. And the strategy of clicking right after you enter seems to work pretty well. And you're actually able to adjust if you hit it slightly early. You have some time to adjust. And if you hit it late, you're able to click later into the ship portal. So it just ends up being so much more consistent. But you know what doesn't get consistent? This timing. You wanna know why? Because it's blind. It's just blind. If I click right now, I'm dead. Now at this point I think I restart the recording and future me can take over, but just in case not, let's do a quick frame perfect check on this timing. So I'm in the corrupted recording. I was doing frame perfect checks on other stuff, but it just like didn't work out at all and was way too complicated, and I gave up pretty quickly. But I will do it for this one just to prove a point. One frame I can pass it, 2 frames I can pass it, 3 frames I can pass it, 4 frames I can pass it, 5 frames I can pass it, 6 frames I can pass it. And that's the limit. Sometimes it's 5, this time it was 6 frames, but yeah, pretty much this borderline blind, well, like literally blind timing that you have a little bit of time to react to is a 5 to 6 frame window. Once again, I can't say I agree with the gameplay decisions of this part. How'd I die? I don't know. I was probably a little too late. Okay, yep, way too late. I was like, that's a problem. Oh, I passed it, good job. I passed it, good job. I passed it, good job. Why? Okay, awesome. I passed it? No, I didn't pass it. Where'd I die? Oh, darn, I clicked like 2 frames too early. Damn, better luck next time. But yeah, regardless of how hard this timing is for whoever else, just dying like this, dying a 1 frame off of a completely blind click, and just getting sent back to the beginning just to try again, I don't like it. But yeah, I think that's all I have to say for this bit of the recording. I think future me is gonna take it now. Wait, no, not future me. I'm future me. Past me is gonna take it over now. Bro, really? Oh my god, 1. What? What is that alignment? Wait. Huh? What phenomenon is going on right now? Okay, I don't think I can do this. No, I just gotta talk about the level. This is 18% in, and I already am perplexed by how this even works, so I'm just gonna stop. The transition's fine, crowd consistent. This robot was absolute torture when I played from 0 until I found what I was doing wrong. Pretty much my old strat was to just click and hope, click and release, and just pray I had the raw skill to be able to do this part. After I got consistent the first 20% and kept dying at this robot from 0, feeling like I was like completely hopeless, I decided to figure out what I was doing wrong. And the problem was me not knowing where to click and just hoping. So I had to pull out a ton of visual indicators for this part. And the first one we have is this long vine that goes down. I wait for my robot to get right underneath it, and then I hold. Okay. And if I do it right, I can hold for the full duration, let the robot hit its max height, so there's no timing on the release. It's just the initial timing. So that made that jump pretty much free, as long as I got the visual cue right. This is also a jump I would randomly die to from 0, and what I was doing wrong was I was clicking way too light and making this not a guaranteed timing right here. If I hold for the full duration, I can't make that jump. I barely die to that spike. So the strat is to do a big jump and don't die to that spike. Hold for barely just the full duration, and then this jump, you're good to do a full hold. You can buffer it and hold. So you're getting rid of a lot of timings and making this part just a lot easier. And then to be safe again, if you jump way too high, then you can still hit the early spike. So I think that was too high of a jump, yeah. And it doesn't need to be like super precise either. That's fine, and then that can be a buffer. And for here, I pretty much just wait till my robot is like perfectly centered with this window, and then I hit a full hold jump, and it'll be pretty close, but you will avoid that saw and make this green orb timing a lot easier. There's really no visual cue because you enter it differently every time. You just kind of have to judge based on your previous click and either click the green orb early or late, because this is a pretty late entrance to the green orb, so you click it early. Or sorry, not early, you click it late. If you do a really early jump, you can still survive it, but you have to click much earlier because you get a ton of height. Okay, so it's probably a better idea to click a tiny bit before you're centered in the window, because there is a chance you can die to that saw blade, and a chance you die to the spikes from earlier. This was a This was the first visual cue I found when looking for visual cues in this robot, and it made me super happy. Right after your robot passes this arrow, so your hitbox is pretty much... Okay, sorry. Your hitbox is pretty much cleared the arrow. You click and hold till you're centered with this window, and you should just barely clear it. This is a really hard timing, and it's what I died to a lot of the time, because I would either click early and make the timing different, or click really late and make the timing... I'm still doing it, look at me go. Having a consistent visual cue you use every time will make your life so much easier. It made this part one of the hardest parts to the easiest, just with visual cues. I will definitely be using visual cues more in some hard extremes that I plan to play in the future. The click afterwards, I didn't really have a cue for it. As long as I did the timing pretty good, you can do a full hold and you won't die. But if you hit it really late, then oh, okay, that's it. You can hit that saw blade. That's what I was missing. So as long as you do this timing fine, everything should be good. So visual cues absolutely carry this part. 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2 works great. One click to get off that surface. One more click to adjust yourself in between these spikes. One more click to not die to the transition. And one more click to do the dash orb. Now we are in the part of the level where you gotta start actually focusing up really hard. Because this timing, it might as well be luck-based. You have to get in between here without hitting that saw or bouncing on the tip of that slope. The visual cue, I had to somehow get a cue for this. I didn't really have an exact cue. I would just click right here and then release sorta when I'm lined up with the top of that saw. Let's try it slow motion. Hold, release. Nah. Let's try right in the middle. Okay, right in the middle seems to be perfect. Release. Oh no, see how tight that gap is? I'll do a frame perfect test on this real quick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 frames to make it in here. Okay, I actually do want to see if this timing is easier if I click sooner, because that is important intel. Wait, now it's a frame perfect window. Okay, now I'm done with this. So it's pretty much a frame perfect release that you can't even see your robot at one point. You just kind of have to... Oh, you have to release... I guess, yeah, release when your robot is fully invisible. Damn, that's a good cue. That's working really well. Or maybe not, I don't know. Maybe it's just luck-based. I'm gonna go with that it's luck-based, and good luck if you ever get here from 0. And then the things that can kill you in this part are the 2 orbs, but specifically this one. Let's do a frame perfect test on this orb. 4, 5, 6. Okay, we got a 6 frame window here. The strat that worked best for me was to just hit this orb in the center and just hope I got the timing right. I'd say this is a very, very fair timing for how difficult it is. You enter it the same every time because you're set up on this block as long as you survive. You can't hit it too late. I hit this late. Hit the orb too late. Hit the saw. I've hit it too late and gone through. Have I? I don't know. Maybe that's a rare death. It's also easy to hit it too early and hit that spike. Regardless, you're set up with that block. You enter this the same every time. And as long as you hit it in the center, should be good. This part is very intimidating. It was one of the scariest parts for me to learn and practice, because everything looks so tight, and we are starting to lose frames now, which for some reason I haven't mentioned yet. I beat this level in full detail. That's incredible. I wonder how many people have done that besides the verifier. But to start, best way to survive this part, let's speed it up a little bit. The best strat is to click as late as possible here and hold for the full jump duration. And you'll enter it very late, which will allow you to glide for a you'll have a bigger window to click like right here into the ship portal. It's kind of hard to describe without playing it, but like I'll have time to sort of visually see my ship in this part and know when to click. I can enter high and then easily adjust. But if I click early, I fall super fast, and I pretty much have to just like click right away and hope that I survive. And as we know, clicking and hoping is not really a good strat for levels this hard. Once I got that transition down, I pretty much never died here. Where I would die though is this little corridor right here. Let me just do it real quick. You have a little setup platform here, but unless you're clicking perfectly on the exact same pixel every time, you're gonna enter the ship part differently. Actually, let's get rid of hitboxes and do a frame rate check. I have to do that part with half the frames that I normally have. I'm not exactly sure how frame rate loss exactly affects gameplay, but the best way I can describe it is that sometimes when I click, the input does not go in when I want it to. Like, it feels like maybe when I click, the game registers that input either right away or there's a little bit of delay on it. So each click is not a consistent amount of time. So if I try to like smoothly guide my way up, I can't. Am I stupid? Why is it so consistent now? Okay, I guess you're just gonna have to take my word for it that this part having half the frames makes my ship a little inaccurate, okay? Regardless, it's still really hard ship gameplay. Now, moving on to the next low FPS ship part that took a lot of my time to figure out. There really is only a single problematic part here, and it is this blue portal combined... Okay, thank you, Black Flash. Combined with this gap right here. At 90 FPS, it's very hard to keep my ship stable. Okay, why am I just a ship god right now? It really feels like I have full control over it now. But yeah, most of the time that would happen. I would enter this portal and not be able to like adjust myself. Ease my way upward and smack into the spike, or ease my way downward and hit the saw. I'd enter it and then I would just... I guess maybe the strat I'm doing is helping me out. I always try to do the same click pattern. Yeah, do you see that downwards glide right there? I feel like I did the exact same strat as I've always been, but sometimes I just glide downward because maybe... Like that! I'm doing the exact same click pattern. I'm clicking and holding for a while, but I still felt myself glide down. So maybe there's... It would be nice to know how FPS drops actually affect the gameplay. Because 90 FPS without clicks between frames is still playable. Like, I was still able to beat the level and get past the super hard parts that were laggy. So I don't know, maybe I shouldn't be complaining about FPS, because clearly it's not that big of a deal. But regardless, this transition is pretty wonky. If you don't have a strat for it, it can feel luck-based. But I'm just a god right now, so click and hold. Let go to even myself out right as I hit the mini portal. 2 clicks to enter this portal with a slight downwards angle, and 3 more clicks to keep myself stable and get to this orb. And then having the same click pattern for a ship part, I guess was there to help me know when I did something wrong and like exactly what it was. Because without a strat here, I would die to going too high like that and just be like, oh damn, I got unlucky. Guess I'll just test my luck next time. But with a click pattern, I can tell there, like, oh, I clicked too lightly for the first 2 clicks, so I entered this really high and died from the top spike. Click pattern treated me well, stopped many deaths probably. This robot gameplay I think is really easy. There's like no hassle whatsoever. The only hard timing is right here. You need to click that black orb like right here in the hitbox, and click the black orb like there. Is that fine? Like right in the middle? Yeah, right in the middle. But human reaction time stuff, I feel like I'm clicking it right here. But I guess in reality I'm clicking it like right there, and that's good. Okay, a 1, a 2, a 5, a 5-frame window. That's why it felt hard, because it is really hard. The rest of this gameplay is really straightforward and easy. No struggles here, don't even need to talk about it. This UFO, pretty hard timings. 2 parts I found myself dying to were this timing, because you can either die from clicking too early here, clicking way too late, and just dying to those spikes, or clicking late and dying there. And it's all based on how late you click here. Clicking later is better, you then have the threat of dying to that saw. Pretty much the only thing you can realistically die to before getting to the drop is this timing right here. Okay, that's as late as I can get. I cannot get any later than that. 3, 4, 5. Okay, it's just a 5-frame window every time. But yeah, once you get past that timing, you're pretty much fine. I died to this transition into the drop once. I got here for the first time and died here. I didn't get to make it to the drop, and I got really sad, and I didn't make progress. I think that was the last I played. I got to 45, and then just couldn't make it to the drop again and died. So I vowed to never die here again, and my strat is just simply right when my brain detected that blue orb was hit, I click. Hello, I click, Jesus. Right as I detect I hit the blue orb, I click right away, so I'm able to, like, sort of glide under the spike without hitting it, and it makes it really easy for me to see my UFO before I get into the cube portal. One more quick click to adjust yourself so you don't die from hitting these top spikes. Because what I did was, I think I didn't really have a strat, so I didn't click early, got too low, couldn't readjust myself, and then dead. Oh yeah, that's a strat, and then strat I saw Doggy do, which I thought was pretty cool, was click here, and just click before you hit the pad, and you're able to still do the part the same, and then you're gonna get saved by a blue portal. And you made it to the drop, yay! I think this, like, double click strat is pretty good. I just do it for fun sometimes, it's pretty consistent, and it's probably the more consistent strat. I just like doing it my way. And now the drop, oh my god. Where do I start with this drop? I can start by explaining, and I guess learning for myself, what actually is a buffer and what's a hard timing. This drop is literally just a mix of buffer clicks and, like, frame perfect timing. Because you're entering the drop, the level is nice and lets these 2 clicks be buffers. But then this click is really difficult. Let's get a frame count on this one. Okay, yeah, you can still make it through, but even a buffer will still kill you here because you click too late, technically. 4, 5. So yeah, the 2 buffers are pretty much just a setup for you to do the super hard timing. Pretty sure I died here from 0. But yeah, as long as you do that timing, you get another buffer click right there and then get flashbanged. I think you actually have to time this one. Yeah, because if you buffer it, you kind of just float and you can't actually hit the ground. You gotta give it some leeway so your cube can turn to the spider once you hit the block. Now, this is also another really hard timing right here. 5, 6 frames, everybody. Wait, let's count it, now that I know. Buffer, 5 frame, buffer. I don't even know if I should count this one. I don't remember really dying here much. You can click it pretty late. And then a 6 frame. And I don't think this is a buffer. You actually have to... Yeah, if you buffer it, you won't go anywhere. It's pretty much just like a second U-turn chip. Hit it. Wait, you don't have to click here? Okay, wait, what's the anomaly going on here? You click here, and I always clicked here, but I guess you can hold, and you'll be fine. That's so weird. Okay. Okay, so you can click and hold there. I just did an unnecessary click. You can buffer this, and I'm pretty sure you can buffer this too, yeah. And then this is the next timing. This little section up ahead is my absolute worst nightmare at this level, and I'm so glad I didn't have to endure it for much longer. 8, Okay, 8 frames. So I'm not going crazy. The timing I think is a little easier, is a few frames easier, and the timings I think are hard are a few frames hard. I think, yeah, this timing is just as long as you don't hit it before, like, can you hit it before the teleport portal? Yeah, okay. This is also a learning experience for me. I've never learned these timings 100% fully, but all I know is that if I click it around right here, I'm pretty good. And the strat I have for this part is I click this black orb when I'm like, pretty much as I come into full contact with it. But regardless, this part still felt pretty luck-based. But for some reason, in practice, doing this part, it just felt completely luck-based. And for some reason, this toggle orb sometimes just did not toggle the saw blade away, no matter what. Literally, across a months of practice, it would be very difficult just to get to this part from playing from the drop because of how inconsistent the spider timings were while I was learning them. So getting a run all the way here just for the saw blade to stay, like, and the most annoying part is I can't replicate it. It only happened. Oh, never mind, it just happened there. And like, it's not. I have one theory. I want to see if this actually works because I've never been able to replicate this. I think that this orb not toggling the saw blade is because I'm hitting this block before I'm hitting the orb, which would be like a frame perfect, but I do it so frequently. Ooh, I found a frame. Okay, wait. I got it right here. Am I hitting this block? But oh, it like, okay, so I'm entering it so low that it like bugs me out. Wait, what is, oh, wait. What? Okay. I'm entering so low that I'm hitting the teleporter and landing on this block and clicking this block. It detects that instead of the saw. So yeah, these problems would be solved if I just clicked late. But then, it's a hard timing. Or not really a hard timing, it's an actual timing now. And it happens on that frame. It happens on that frame. Yeah, it only happened on those frames, so it doesn't happen here for some reason. Oh, cause it doesn't teleport me onto this block before it teleports me up here. So I'm technically hitting this orb before I hit the... Okay. Sure, I guess that makes sense, but that could have been play tested out. Now I know the cause of that bug, finally. So, finding a strat here and clicking it in relatively the same place every time, I was able to avoid it from 0. Okay. So yeah, in the right circumstances, this is a buffer click. But the level is not kind to you immediately after, because you're then hit with the most, like, top player wave section I have ever seen. This is by far the hardest wave I have ever had to do in a rated level, and I probably ever will do. Actually, no, it's not as hard as the Gigatrondra wave, and I can do that. Let's get a good ol' frame rate count on all of these before I explain how hard it is. 4 frames, 5, okay, looking like a 6er, yeah, 6 frames, 6 frames here. This one's looking like a 5, yep, we got 5 frames here, so immediately into a 6 frame release and 5 frame input right after. Your deaths will never be at the cube. They're always going to be at the wave. So we got a 6 and a 5. This one looks like it has a decent bit more room. 8. Yeah, looking like an 8. 8 frames is fine, but it's like right after a transition, so it's whatever. 9. Okay, 9 then. 10! Okay, never mind. 10 frames up in here. But the problem here is not how tight the gaps are. It's how goddamn awkward they are. Look at this. That's just a vile, this microclip that you have to do. This was probably the hardest part to learn. Figuring out how to do microclicks right after a wave timing. A microclick right after a release is actually so cruel. It was so awkward to play. Dying here never felt fun. Probably a lot harder for me as well because I play on mouse. And it's just harder to microclick. But the best strat I could do for myself was release as early as absolutely possible to give myself enough time to do the microclick without fear of holding for too long. Because if you use all of the space you've been given, the microclick is literally a frame of microclick you can survive. Actually, no, you won't survive, because you'll die to this cube portal that for some reason can kill you. Yeah, if you enter it on like the first frame, you'll die here, but still, that's another playtesting issue that could have been fixed, but wasn't. But luckily, as long as you survive this, the level is kind enough to let you buffer this transition. God bless. And this will give you more time to hit, once again, another release into a microclick. Again, right after the previous one. 8, 9. It's an 8-frame release into a 6-frame input into a 10-frame microclick. Another transition you can still click late in, and a very tough to tell what's happening click. Okay, we got an 8-frame window here, and the screen is absolute chaos. You can barely tell what's happening. Okay, that's looking like an 8. I'm just gonna call that one 8. 6 frames up in here. 8. Okay, 7 frames here. I'm pretty sure this one's 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, okay. And the last click of the wave is a 5-frame. So, long story short, this wave is insanely hard, like incomparably harder than the other parts in this level. Even if the timings are like the same, like same frame window as some of the other harder timings, wave is just different, man. Wave has never been my best game mode. Sorry, having to learn and consistently do a wave this difficult was the biggest challenge for me. This part just felt like the biggest roadblock ever. Oh yeah, not to mention, the timings are also harder, because let's do a frame rate check. Oh, I have to do incredibly tight timings, with the screen going crazy on full detail with half my frames, and that's what makes it hard. It's not the individual timings, it's everything thrown at that part all at once. On full detail in my conditions, I would say that wave section is the hardest part in the level, and it's not even a competition. And next we have... What do I have this enjoyment-wise? I do have this as the highest enjoyment part, which I think it deserves to be. Let's just go through it real quick. I am built different today. It's, casual run to 100. Ending's not hard at all. Yeah, this part's great. Each timing is, like, very clear, like, where you have to click, and it's very obvious to tell what you did wrong when you die. Big applause to this part. These clicks are really easy. You gotta click this blue orb decently early, and continue holding until you get here, and then you gotta let go. Because if you hold any longer, your ship's gonna hit those spikes. What just happened? What is that? Okay, another bug located. Thank you. Wait, why is that even there? Oh, did I just hit like a frame perfect release or something? That I did! I'm like, the game probably thinks I'm still in the block. That is such a crazy accidental find. Okay, so there is a built-in little like a bug fix, so you don't die here when you're released, but it still can kill you, which is really funny. Okay, yeah, anyways, where I was initially. Click and hold here, release after your wave is past here, so you don't die here, and that's pretty much your cue, just immediately after this spike, so you can let go and make sure your ship does not hit these spikes. In full speed, I just completely relied on muscle memory in this part, and just kind of just clicked in parade. I made that timing. 4, 5 frames, oh my god, okay, that makes sense. This was my fluke from 49, was dying at this wave release. Pretty much, the strat is to just click before you get to the wave portal, because if you try to wait any amount of time, you just get sent to the floor and die. For consistency's sake, I would just click as early as possible and just pray my muscle memory could carry me through. If I just looked at the level differently, maybe it would be easier. The strat for me is I would look at the wave that's up there and release, like, oh, don't get the bug, release like sort of right there, And that's where my eyes would be looking, and I can't physically adjust my eyes down fast enough to be able to see me enter the wave portal and, like, actually hit a good timing. So I pretty much just had to rely on muscle memory. Just feel the vibe of the level, you know? I just feel when the release should happen and just do it. I don't know. If you play the game, you know what I mean. This click, okay, I found this out the hard way a lot during some good practice runs. This is a buffer timing. This is a buffer timing. You can click this green orb as early as you want and it will not kill you. What will kill you is waiting so long that you become big and then clicking. Do not make this mistake. Do not ever die here because you didn't buffer. Yeah, click as late as you can on this black orb and then hold. You'll be fine. Click a little late in this blue orb. You'll be fine. It's not really too difficult. Click really late on this green orb and you'll be good. Okay, we're going rapid fire now. Try not to click too late in this part. I've died plenty of times clicking too late. You do have to time the release so you don't hit that spike. Yeah, hit it pretty much in the center. Hit a good release. And now I have to try to comprehend how this part works again. This dual transition. What happens, pretty much, is you become a cube and you jump. And you become a ball and you click. Both of the inputs happen at once. And you end by being a ball and you go through there. Seems normal. This little area has caused me so much confusion and I'm going to try to explain. Where are my icons? Okay, get rid of this goddamn... I have respawn flash off! What do you mean? Oh, maybe it's when I enter the duel. Yeah, okay. So you need to click here when you are a cube. But the timing is so precise. Because if you click as too early, you're still a wave and you die. Because you hit the saw bit up there. This is a 5-frame window to click here as a cube. And all I would ever do for this part that worked for me is the second my cube hit that dual portal, I would click. And it would pretty much always work, even though that timing's insanely tight. But yeah, my strat was to just... Ooh, what if I enter it high? Doesn't it make the timing... It definitely makes it harder. How difficult is it now if I enter it too high? 1, 2, 3... No shot. 1, 2. Okay, so if you enter this way too high with this strat, you have to do a 2-frame input. You have to do 120 hertz frame perfect. Okay, good to know. So it's probably easier if you enter it low, right? Because you can't die from hitting that saw blade. Entering it low, let's see how many frames. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, I'm still a wave as the ball. Okay. 3, 4, 5. Okay, it's a frame perfect. So you have to enter it in the middle for the best chance. 4, 5. Are you kidding? I don't know. This part didn't seem to kill me as much as it should have been. Pretty sure there was a way to counter this that I just never wanted to learn because it didn't feel consistent enough. Oh, okay. Hold on. If you enter it low... Okay, well, this is... If you enter it... Wait, what? Okay, so an alternate option is you can avoid the tight timing and buffer into it, but you're gonna have to click an extra time very quickly to change your gravity as the ball, or else that blue orb is gonna kill you. So this actually seems like a much more consistent strat. I just didn't want to do it because I had to click a lot, I'm pretty sure. And I didn't know the intricacies of it. But now that I know it's probably consistent, I'm gonna learn it real quick. Okay, I prefer my timing. Okay, it's easier if you use a second input. Okay, I wouldn't do that strat. I think just timing it is fine. It just feels a lot more inconsistent. Or maybe I just have to learn it. I don't know. But it seems like things can go wrong. Like you click too late and then you just don't do the click. Yeah, it honestly seems like an equally as hard time, if not harder. So no thanks. And there's, oh my god, I just have to keep talking because there's so much about this level that you can't see with the showcase. This ball duel right here was also super confusing to me to learn because I just felt like I was dying to absolutely nothing. But I did find some stuff out. Some of which made sense, some of which were bugs. So to start here, this click. You can buffer it and get a lot of height, but then the transition is just goofy. I can't explain it. Sometimes it'll just like, you'll do like a... Why is it not doing it? Like, there. It's like, yeah, that can happen. The balls can like click on each other, but you'll still survive. But then when the balls click on each other like that is such a weird sentence. Yeah, sometimes it doesn't work. No, they need to click on each other. So if I click and hold, okay, that's what's happening. But then you have the chance for this part to just completely break. If I click super early here and hold, my ball will just randomly turn gravity when I'm holding. And it's because it might have to do with this goofy slope that's randomly here and not put in the right place. Like, it's not even aligned properly. If I click and hold and hit that, it makes me click. Like, it makes my ball change gravity. If I wait the slightest bit and land normally, I'm still holding, I'm completely fine. There's some weird bug here with this slope that if you don't know how it kills you, you will just randomly die here while you're playing. And that was my reality for a very long time. So, the strat to survive, click sort of late but not too late so the gravity can switch normally. Click early as you can with this red orb, because if you click too late, your cube is not gonna be... Oops. Your cube will not make it and hit the spike. Oh, I made it. Hold on. Let's get a good example going. Hello? What? How late can I click this? Pretty goddamn late, apparently. Okay, that has to be as late as I can click it. My cube is not surviving. Yeah. It's actually pretty hard for it to happen, I guess. But as long as you're holding and you click the red orb at a decent time, that's not way too late, then you will survive. And to avoid that bug from happening, instead of immediately clicking as the ball, I will wait just the slightest bit. I'm pretty sure you can wait as long as you can. Yeah, and you'll still land in the same place. So this part's completely fine from here on out. Figuring out this part took an unfortunate amount of brain power. Make sure you don't click too late. That's pretty much it. You can click pretty early and survive here. And especially make sure you click this green orb late. And click that whenever you want, and then 2 clicks is enough to get you through this transition into the next part, and then boom. Now I will do it at full speed. The click sync is absolutely incredible. I don't even know how I didn't mention it yet. The click sync in this level is amazing. It's definitely the highlight of it. Every click you do in the second half of the level feels so powerful because you click along with the song the whole way, and the song is very powerful. Would I call this the hardest part? I honestly, even though I fluked it and I was pretty consistent in practice, I feel like this part is by far the hardest because every single timing is very tight and it's fast-paced and it's hard to visually see what's happening. But maybe I've just overestimated this whole time. I know this timing is insane. These are what caused a lot of my deaths. Let's get frame counting here. 4, 5, 6. Okay, we got a 6 frame window here, but when you're moving really fast and you have to, yeah, your icon's behind the orb, so it's pretty much just wait till your icon's invisible and in the middle of the orb to hit it. But once again, are we going 4 times speed right here? Yeah. Each timing is very difficult, and it's visually hard to tell when to click. But even though the timings aren't completely impossible, they're still very tight. And oh my god. What makes this part the hardest part for me is this little section right here, where you have to click 3 times very fast between these gaps. Look at these gaps. Oh my god. Click there. You gotta click there. And you're a large cube going through that gap. Oh my god, that is just vile. And that's pretty much just all muscle memory. There's not much skill here. You get in the middle of that portal and just click 3 times consistently and hope you click them consistently enough. I'll honestly do a frame rate test for each of these timings because I want to know. Oh, this is another one where each time you enter it, you could exit it differently. Oh, man. 4, 5. Holy, that's a 5 frame window. Oh my god. No, wait, maybe it's not, maybe it's not. Maybe if I click sooner, I'll have more of a window. 4, 5, 6. Okay, 6 frame window here. Did I say it was 6 earlier? I think I said it was 5. I guess if you want to have a 1 frame easier timing, hit the first blue orb early. 3, 4. It's a frame perfect. Oh my god, it's 4. Let's try it again. Yeah, it's 4. Wow. This is as hard as I thought, maybe even a little harder. 6 frame window into 4 frame window, and okay, let's just reiterate how fast I'm doing these clicks as well. But once you've done that, once you've gone past there, then you're pretty set to go to the end from here on out. A very sick part. That jump, I don't recall being difficult at all. This jump, I don't remember being difficult at all. This jump, I don't remember being difficult at all. One thing that happened to me, like a few days earlier, like pretty recently, I found out if you click this blue orb too late, you will not survive this transition. You will die. I don't know if that's intentional. I don't know why it would be. This part was a very big concern for me early in my playthrough. You start it with a blind click, or sorry, a blind transition. If I click right now, I'm dead because there's a pink orb here. I have to wait until I'm past the pink orb, but then it's a buffer. So it really isn't a buffer. The timing is you're playing for the buffer click, and you have a little bit of leeway afterwards. Okay, how many frames is this for? Whatever, I can't be asked. It's not terribly difficult. You just have to do it blind, which is going to take some time and patience. I can't believe how consistent this got on literally the final day today. This ball part tortured me for so long learning it, but pretty sure you can click this yellow orb right in the center. Very convenient. The problematic click for me was right here, this pink orb, but I found out you actually can click it really early and still survive. So I stopped dying there. This green orb, you need to click pretty late, I think, for you to be able to make it past this spike that hopefully I make it past. Don't click it too late. Okay, cool. And then here, as long as you hit that pink orb at a good time, you're pretty much through the part. You can buffer this click, and if you click the green orb too early, I believe you don't make it. Never mind. I guess you can afford to click it pretty early, I guess. And can you hit it too late? I guess so, yeah. It might mess up the transition a little. And then here. If you are watching someone play through this part, it's very hard to tell what is so difficult about it. But let me tell you. Exhibit A. There is no block to stop you from dashing. You have to release that. Yes, it is an actual timing. It's another muscle memory-ish timing. You kind of just have to hope you release the right time. And you once again have to do a wave micro click into literally the most, like, cartoonishly impossible looking gap I've ever seen. Like, look at this. How does this look passable? You do have some leeway with a teleport. Normally when you would die, normally when you would die, you'd become a cube. Okay, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh! We got 4 frames to pass this. Yeah, if you get past the cartoonishly hard gap, you'll get thrust into here, which I'm surprised I didn't die here. This part never really got consistent. You just have to click very fast, but not too fast, or else you're going to enter this pink orb way too low. You have to click this pretty early. Okay, for some reason I cannot die on this spike no matter how hard I try, but I promise dying to this spike is common. You'll click these blue orbs way too early and then not have the height to make it. Hey, there we go. This is the death. One of the most common deaths I have here. Yeah, everybody check out the amazing hitboxes we got in here. You know, we got an amazing necessary block there. You know, we got some random outlines, you know. Oh, what do you think the hitboxes are here? Oh, it's that, you know, not that huge bit right there. And yes, you can slide on here, you know. Pretty easy to tell. You know, this doesn't kill you, you know. This kills you, this doesn't. Look guys, it's waterfall hitboxes. Yeah! Woo! Hey, there I am. Wait, is that not a spike texture? Hello? Did we nerf this part and forget to remove the visual? Wait, yeah, I think this is supposed to be a harder part. But they nerfed the mini spikes and just didn't remove the texture. Okay. And then, this dash orb, you want to click this as late as humanly possible. There, thank God the level stops the dash for you. Hitting it as late as possible is best because you have the most time to hit this blue orb. You can fall a lot longer. Oh, that's death, so maybe you don't want to do that. If you hit it too early, like, you know, right in the center, the problem is very immediate. You have like 1 frame to hit this, and it might not be the setup you want. Or you could do it on purpose and then set up a buffer there. I guess, yeah, you could do that, or you could hit it late and just do the setup yourself. I found that to be the most consistent way. And this wave, he says, looking at a ship. I guess this is just the perk of being ship carried. I was not really scared of this ending, even though I almost did die. How close was I to dying? How close can I get? Okay, so this is the latest. I'm dead here, okay? How close was I to that in my completion? Oh my god. Dude, I might have been a frame off from dying there, straight up. Oh my god. Oh my god, that's... Dude, I think I was a frame off from death at the very end. Oh, that would have been so tragic. Dude, I'm like less than this length away from dying. Bless this teleporter right here. This teleport made the last straight fly actually very consistent. Because yeah, you would be set up pretty much the same every time, so you could do the exact same 3 clicks. Oh my god. And that's it. That is Waterfall. And that was literally like 2 straight hours of just going through the level and talking about it. And now, okay, that was so crazy, looking at my completion and seeing how close I was to dying. So I'm gonna do that with the whole completion and see how close I got. I think that's normal as well. There's not really any insane close calls that I'm seeing. I think I might have done that last frame. Okay, I'll be able to tell something in this wave for sure. How close are we? I think that was like the earliest possible frame I could... Damn, I went high there. Jesus. Did the microclick pretty clean. Did that microclick very clean. Did that also very clean. Wow. Yeah, that was perfect, man. Like, I was so locked in. That was perfect. Like, actually, I hit that as late. I think I hit that as late as possible. Oh my god. Dude, how late was that? It was literally right here. Okay, I'll just go back into my recording from earlier in this part, because I had the hitboxes shown, I'm pretty sure. This has to be the last possible frame I could have hit this orb. That is scary. Dude, all my close calls happen at the end. Oh my god. Oh. Yeah, I went a little high on the last straight fly, but that's expected. God damn. I have a new hardest. I have a new hardest. I have a new hardest. Oh my god. I've beaten the hardest legendary level. Oh my god. I did it. When I click legendary and uncompleted and recent. What is that? There's no waterfall. There is one more slightly hard level, but look at the progress I got. I can beat Schming Summit now, since I got my 1,000 lemons. Wow. Now I gotta put this all together. Make a thumbnail and a description and stuff. I'll have a conclusion to the video, because I pretty much just talked about the level and what makes it hard, and like what all the timings are, but I never talked about how I felt about it really too much. So let's see when I first started playing this. What's a good early run that I had that's really tiny? I'd say 51 to 66. No, 59 to 72 was definitely my first time playing. November 5th, 2024. It did not take me over a year to beat this level. That's good. So the earliest recording I have is actually October 2024. This level is pretty much taken me 10 months, even though I haven't been playing it the full 10 months. It took me like 2 months of learning, plus like another month of regaining my consistency and beating it. Yeah, my last actual session was December 11th. I broke the new best wall. Used that brain 3 weeks ago. Oh yeah, within 3 weeks, I was able to go from 45 as my best to 100 after a 8-month hiatus. So overall, my experience with this level was not terrible. I'll say that. For a new hardest, I'm glad it didn't take me like a bunch of pain and suffering and dying at the end and like quitting the level and coming back. Like I practiced and learned it and got consistent with it for 2 months. Took a really long break, came back and slayed it. The only pressure I had to beat this really was I'm going back to college in 4 days. So I just wanted to have it done by then. If I didn't get it done today, I had 4 more days to grind it out. But yeah, I didn't feel stressed to complete it, didn't feel under much pressure, I guess. So yeah, I guess 90% of my playtime would be just me suffering to this level. Suffering is not a good word for it. Suffering would literally be if I just hated getting on it every single day and just hating the timings, but as much as I hated the timings in this level, after enough practice, they did get pretty consistent. For the timings nearly being as hard as a 60 FPS frame perfect at times, this level was very consistent. I will give it that. I can't imagine many more levels at this difficulty would get consistent and have, like, as few issues as this level did. Because the main ones I can point out literally off the top of my head are the gauntlet of 8% to like 16%, the hold into a click into a micro click, that part, the red orb into the ship transition, the literal blind click that's like a 5 to 6 frame window. Like some of the timings in the robot part after just never got fully consistent. I could only ever really just hope, do the timing the same every time and just hope I get past it. The first robot click in the next part at 25, you know, the diagonal ship part around like 33, 35-ish, and especially the wave at the drop. All those parts made it very, very hard for me to progress, but I guess my motivation to complete all legendary levels just kept me going. That was my motivation to get through it, because it's something I needed to do to get all these levels done. But yeah, now that I have this done, I'm free to clear the rest of these legendaries and then probably end on Dissonance as another super hard level. It would feel right, you know? Get the super hard level out of the way, take a break, take out the easy levels, and then end on another hard level. That's my plan for the rest of the legendary levels. And then I get to make a literally like 3-hour video tier listing them all. Can't wait for that. As long as no other main lists come out that are legendary, then I'm set. I think if the level meant more to me on a personal level, I probably would have had more of a reaction, you know, more things to say. I think I had a decent reaction. I was just flabbergasted that I beat it and wasn't ready to react. Wasn't ready for it to be an insane fluke. Yeah, it doesn't really feel like a new hardest because the completion was just so smooth at the end. But now I'm very confident that I can beat stuff like Gagatrondra and Limbo now, because I just made a huge jump from my previous hardest, and I would consider 80% on Limbo to be harder than this Waterfall completion. So I guess technically this isn't a new hardest, but new hardest level on the list, and I now officially have a main list completion again. Hooray! Oh, I know what I want to do. I'm gonna open some keys, yes, to celebrate. Yeah. Awesome. Ooh, and I can do the weekly. Oh my god, I forgot I had this ready. Hold on 1 second, this is important. What is wrong with me? There's no way I just died to that. Yeah, that's 365 daily levels completed. Yes! Oh my god, a bunch of quests too. Oh my god, I did it. I had my 365th daily saved up, ready for that too. What a great day to be me. It's only downhill from here. Wait, I'm at 18,888 stars and 7272 moons? What? Oh, I also never mentioned, I am using a gradient mod, which I'll list all the mods I have in the description. But I have a gradient mod, and I'm so glad I got it. Pink and blue actually works really, really cutely. I like it. And I like theming my completions sometimes. Like Frozen Cave, I had the flashy blue and white. RGB, I had RGB. I feel like the gradient works really well. Like, I played Waterfall and it corrupted my icons. Anyways, I don't really have much more to say now. I'm tired. If something needs to be said, it'll either be in the description or it'll pop up on screen, or I'll edit it in or something. Thank you so much for watching and have an awesome day. Wait. That was... I didn't even click, man. I had the exact same thing. Again, man. What? What?